Hey everyone, this is Tony Reeves, and welcome to another edition of Easy, but Not So Easy.
Good evening, everyone. Tony Reeves.
Today we're going to talk about quitting your job.
Shape, or form. No shortage of things.
Okay, let's get the easy part out of the way. If you've decided you're going to quit, deuces. Peace out. That's the easy part. The not so easy part is the other things that rolls after that we don't normally think about until this happens. Are you in a position where if you have to go back out in the job searching community, are you embraced the reality that you might be out there for a while? But if you still plan on staying in the workforce in terms of working for someone and you don't have a job already lined up, you need to be prepared for the reality that there's a possibility that you may have an extended period of time where you're out of work. And during that extended period of time, are you ready to handle the financial stresses of not having any predictable income? What's your next step? When you're leaving a work environment and you're ready to leave, is your next step to continue on doing that job for someone else? Is the next step in terms of maybe go out and do something on your own? Sometimes the liberation of quitting the job is so important, that's all you focus on. And then when you get out, you haven't thought beyond that, and now you're in a position where you feel like you're floundering. Are you aware of all the things you can and you can't do once you leave? You probably heard a lot of these, what we call these non-disclosure agreements or covenant not to compete. Some jobs, your employers will have you sign away various things that you can and can't do once you leave. Make sure you find out what it is you can and you can't do once you leave. But you want to be aware that if you know you signed a whole bunch of stuff when you first got in and you were like, oh, I'm just happy to be working. Somewhere in there might be a non-disclosure agreement or a covenant not to compete, which means you can't do what you're doing for them for somebody else for a set period of time in a geographical area. So you want to know those things ahead of time because you want to be in a position where you dip out thinking that you're cool, and all of a sudden you're getting letters telling you to stop doing something that we call cease and desist, or somebody threatens to take you to court because you're now working for another employer doing what you did for them. Find out those things ahead of time. Do you want to list this job? So you need to be prepared to ask yourself the reality. If you acquired skills at that job for a period of time, but you didn't leave on the best of terms, how are you going to address the fact that you have these skills? No way to discuss how you got those skills because you haven't put that employer on your resume, which goes into getting a reference. The hardest thing to do is leaving a job that you didn't leave on the best of terms and then figuring out who you can reach out to in that company that can give you a reference. Just know that when it's time for you to make that next transition in your life, just be methodical about it so that you don't get any surprises.